Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack. Well, I keep hearing from a lot of YouTubers, social media, how Hollywood is just keep collapsing more and more. And to be honest, I still think that yeah, I don't have any sort of interest anymore. They burned the content I used to enjoy from them. Even if I want to go to the old days, good old days, I can go watch the past stuff. I don't expect anything from this industry that is Hollywood. But well, we have his headline that it seems that the certain aspects of history can be repeated again, especially with the history of Detroit, how the car manufacturing industry left that place and that city collapsed. Well, continue on. Hollywood is collapsing. Film and television productions drop dramatically in California as studios leave Golden State. This one, man, because this one that keeps California in relevancy because they still dumping a lot of millions of dollars, even taxpayer money, just to highlight these shows, just to keep them on production because it's like yeah they are being subsidized because if they don't do that well California is just going to leave what it's no I was going to say that they was less appealing of them but it's nothing from them anymore even those that industry that is the cinematographic and television they're just dying YouTube is taking them over. You have even some fan art, some YouTubers doing some animations, and well, they look very nice, especially with animators. Some YouTubers I follow, especially from the Nickel community, Musampro or from Blue Archive, Blue Seichi. Those two, even if you say, but well, the animation is not like they are like top tier quality or budget animation, still they are likable because what they try to do is to be entertaining. Because this is something that Hollywood forgot many, many times. At this point, and probably they already catch on. Because yeah, if they receive that money, that investment from California, those that money is attached with strings, and that string comes with compliance of pushing woke ideology. And then well that's not entertaining. But well, let's see what that purpose have to say here. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, but it's red. Hollywood is quietly collapsing. I just want them to collapse already, man. For all the glitz premieres and red carpets that still does dot Sunset Boulevard, Los Angeles, the beating heart of the American entertainment industry, I don't have. You know what I want to say with that one. Continuing. It's bleeding out in silence. Beneath the facade of celebrity and prestige lies a production crisis that, if unchecked, could render Tinseltown on a relic of its past. The numbers don't lie. The first quarter of 2025 brought a brutal 22% drop in on-location filming compared to last year. Because again, you have to even pay. Even if citing all Hollywood, whole entertainment TV shows, The Simpsons, man. Don't you remember that episode? If you have ever watched The Simpsons, where they wanted to do that movie that was Milhouse Van Horen, the protagonist, Atom Kid, and then you know how that fucking city was just draining money and money, creating laws and dog shit of laws to drain more money from that house production. And they were getting more and more ridiculous. Yeah, I'm aware of how fucking California dog shit place they are because that kind of lawfare that is ruling over there, and you can thank the far left for doing that. But continue on. According to a report released by Film LA, the non-profit group that handles filming permits in the city and county, non-profit, yeah, press X to that, but anyway. TV production, once unstable economic engine for the region, plunged by nearly 50% against the 5-year average. 13 pilots shot in LA this year's a record low. So this isn't a bump in the road, it's the new normal. Yeah, this is the new normal because they refuse to give people what they want. Sure, I'm not going to deny that there are still going to be some shows that from the West, despite that they have anime and manga, they are still want to see from the West, even with all their flaws, or even if they have like 5-10% of wokeness. Yeah, I'm not going to shit that those shows are still in a remotely successful manner, but look at the percentage of how many of those shows exist. You can count them with the fingers of your hand. And I'm not saying both hands. You can just do it with one hand, because that industry used to have a lot of that you will even need the fingers of your feet to actually count them. But no, there is nothing good anymore, man. Even if I feel nostalgic from time to time, you know what show I usually watch from time to time? Malcolm in the Middle, man. And that shit is so fucking old. But continue on. The root cause? A perfect storm of post-strike stagnation. We have seen that with San Astra with the voice actors. And those when they feel so fucking entitled, man. Look and continue on. Cost cutting by studios and a global arms race of tax incentives that California is losing. Because, yeah, well, maybe that's why they're going away. I said about that money being attached to comply with wokeness, and probably Orangeman said enough is enough. You're not going to get any sort of money until you drop wokeness entirely. Get the fuck out of here. And those studios, they're going to walk away. And continue on with the article. Meanwhile, competitors like Australia are experiencing a 40% boost in production volume. That's interesting. A fascist country like that, considering how they treat certain video games, producing something, well, maybe I'm ghoulish here with them, but continue on. With countries like Slovakia and Austria siphoning off production work by offering 60 to 90% cost savings on scoring music alone, man. You know, even something I really despise from the music industry from the West is how they push the NCAs too fucking far. And look, you're looking at history. Look how they treated Michael Jackson. And of course, all that money, those artists are just putting in as slaves to be squeezed a lot of money from those contracts, those draconian contracts. Yeah, they do a different type of licensing there. Well, it's going to get better. But well, this is the whole article. We don't have much stuff here. And just like what I said, if the industry of commiefornia leads, which is what's left then in relevancy is Hollywood, you know what's going to happen? It's going to repeat the same story with Detroit, with the car manufacturers left to Mexico and China. You know, there are videos of how that outcome with the livelihoods of people just dropping entirely. You know, even with California, we can see stories of those homeless just doing nasty stuff. But well, you know, when a certain industrial manufacturer leaves and there's nothing then to keeping them afloat, yeah, it turns into Fallout, and not the TV show. I mean the Fallout games. But anyway, that's all I wanted to share here with you for now. Thanks for watching, and please take care.